Hello, Internet. I am Chaz.
And I'm Dan. Welcome to Wine is Serious Business, episode 327.
Getting up there.
Drinking lots of Pinot Noir today.
Yep.
From an area we know nothing about, or next to nothing about.
Yeah.
So I went up to Vancouver Island in Canada this past summer. Had a really nice time up there. I was up there for about a week. And at the end, we decided to go visit some wineries, taste around, because we knew they were up there.
Yeah.
Didn't really know what we'd find, but had a few nice visits. And after every stop, I picked a bottle I'd like to talk about.
It's awesome.
Here we are. So the first place we went to was this Millstone Estate winery. Yep. So you can see on the bottle here, the label's torn up. We're going to cut in a picture of a Merlot that we had and really liked. We didn't want to do a 5-wine show. So this is Ortega. Yeah, this is a cross of Müller-Thurgau and Siegrebe. So they grow a lot of interesting hybrids up there because I think their growing seasons are a little... It's super humid, right? So they struggle with that. And the temperatures are a little different, although I saw a wide range of grapes planted. So I think generally it's on the warmer side, but everyone loves Pinot Noir, right? So everybody's trying to find the places that Pinot Noir grow to.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I've had Pinot Noir and sparkling from up there, right?
Yeah.
It turned out pretty good. And some interesting wines, so... Awesome to try these out.
Yeah, and a great, friendly, like you drive down, you kind of taste in a little barn, super friendly folks, kind of some animals moving around, a little house off to the side. I would definitely go back. I would go back to these places, but great folks. Go check them out if you're in the area.
Right on.
A little stinky on the nose. I don't know
what's
going on here, but
it's got a little a little something stinky. Initially, I was going to say like a sulfury.
It might be a little sulfur, a little like fresh cut rhubarb.
But it's got like this sort of like sock thing going on.
A little bit of that,
yeah, like dirty laundry. But there's like an aroma of maybe like, there's some sort of like citrus aroma below it, maybe with maybe like a light floral aroma. So flowers and socks, delicious flowers and socks. So,
and I feel like that's going to blow off because I didn't notice it at the time I tasted at the winery. What is coming through that I remember, I like it on the palate. It's really light and crisp and fresh. It's not overly complex, but it sits great on the palate. It's really refreshing, really easy drinking.
It reminds me of like Melon de Bourgogne.
Nailed it. Yeah.
It reminds me of that great.
Wow.
And it's like its lightness and its flavor profile a bit. This is even a bit lighter than that. The acid, it's almost like there's another white grape. There's another
variety bank.
Vino Verde. It's almost like a cross between those two.
Sure,
Like,
I can see that.
Like in sheer lightness, like lightness on the palate, lightness in acidity, lightness in flavor, but has like sort of the flavor profile of Merlot. I don't know, really cool.
But just like nice light limes, a little bit of barely ripe apples on the palate. Maybe just a hint of barely ripe apricot. Not a lot. It's definitely not a heavy wine.
Yeah, I agree.
But I've got some confidence that the nose blows off and minus that, really enjoyable. Something you could drink a lot of really easily.
Yeah, this is one of those summer wines where you could kill the entire bottle without even trying. What's the alcohol content on it? 13%.
Oh,
it doesn't feel like it at all.
No,
this feels like a 10% wine.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a creep up on you real fast.
If it was easier to get more, if we ever chugged another bottle on camera, this would be
super easy.
Contention. Yeah.
Okay. We got to do that show again.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that as an outtake from this show too. Interesting stuff, right? This introduced me to Ortega, and I like that, so I had to pick up a bottle.
Fantastic.
We're going to move on to Pinot Noir. I think we're going to start here. Okay. Oh, they're both 12s. I think we're still going to start here. So this is the Averill Creek Pinot Noir 2012. We didn't get to taste this at the tasting room. This is one exception, I guess, where I didn't try it before we got into it.
Spilling wine all over my phone. Nice.
Oh, good. But they were swearing that it was super good, and when I was trying to decide what to buy, I'm like, if you really think I should get the Pinot, I'll get the Pinot. And they're like, oh yeah, if you're willing to do it, you definitely got to do it. And it wasn't crazy expensive either. I don't remember the exact price, but it wasn't like a $65 bottle or anything like that. So all estate grown, and I'm going to read off the phone to you guys. I know it's bad form, but they've got some good vineyard information on here that I think some people watching the show are going to be excited about. So it's the soil is Royston Qualicum, a blend of glacial sand and gravel. I'd never heard of this before. Sloped, well drained, with a little preparation, perfect for viticulture. Planting began in 2002. A vertical shoot positioning system, Guyot, I think, is used to allow for photosynthesis, air circulation, and ripening. Long, dry summers, southern aspect of the vineyard, and this valley can be a few degrees warmer than the surrounding valley. Small.
Is that something they struggle with there, like getting the grapes ripe enough?
I think in some spots, because they get a lot of rain, right? They don't have many
Right.
clear sunny days at all.
Okay.
And they yields, they shoot for about 2.5 tons an acre. Pretty small lots, not a lot. They make a lot of wine from purchased grapes, but this is estate stuff.
Right.
So here we go. It smells like Pinot Noir from a hot year to me, I think. It smells a little like fruity, got a warm sense to it, a little bit of nutmeg spice.
It smells, I mean, yeah, it's got sort of like the cherry cough drop thing going on just a little bit.
With cranberry. Really engaging tasting this, you would...
Strawberry jam maybe even a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely no arguing that they are able to get the grapes ripe when even on the nose here.
Yeah, but the thing I like about the nose is there's no harshness to it, right? Like this smells like fruit, almost just that to me. But I kind of like that, like in some wines. So,
man, this is good. I don't know if he'll see this, but Kevin Wish, when we stopped there, we mentioned it, and he gave us a shout out saying that was a good pick, and I'm seeing it.
That's nice.
I like this big ripe nose, but then
Yeah.
it's really light and clean and refreshing on the palate. Got kind of like some strawberry raspberry flavors up front.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of fades into cranberry that lingers light.
Yeah, this wine is almost like the palate and the mid palate and what am I saying? The whole flavor, the whole experience can't top today. The whole experience on the wine is just devoted to the fruit. There's no real sort of like earthy aromas to this, like toffee or chocolate or anything like.
It's true.
It's just like ripe, fresh strawberries, cherries, raspberry, a bit of cranberry, like you said on the finish. That holds together really well. Like there's no gaps in it whatsoever.
Yep.
There's really great acidity on the finish. Tans have just a little bit of grip, really kind of nice. Drinks really well.
And it makes it, those descriptions make it sound like it's heavy and jammy, but it's not. The acidity, it's really on point here. Keeps things light across the palate.
Agreed.
No heat going on. Just the slightest amount of tannins on the back end.
Yeah.
Definitely lighter on the structural side. But again, refreshing and easy to drink and really approachable.
This is nice. Yeah.
If you're an acid hater, you probably wouldn't be into this, but I
Yeah.
think this would
A little bit high
appeal
on
to a
acid.
wide range of people.
Agreed. Like, just very linear, easy to drink wine.
And really, if you want to make, if you want to have discussions about whether Pinot Noir is appropriate to grow there or not, like they're doing it, right? This is...
Yeah, it's super solid.
Yeah.
And this is a 12, mind you, too. So
Right.
maybe it has a little bit of time in the bottle, smooth that a little bit. It's quite nice.
Rinse here.
Another 2012. Venturi Schultz.
Schultz. Yep. So this is a place that's been around for a little longer. So this is Venturi Schultz, another place we went to visit. This is all kind of in different places, but these are on kind of on the way up to Nanaimo, not far off of the highway, and been around for a while. Another really nice tasting room. You go into the house. The gentleman we talked to is as part of the family there. One of those people that's like the perfect guy to have in the tasting room. Great sales guy, like tons of stories about all the grapes. He works in the vineyards.
Awesome.
Tastes with a lot of different people. Kind of another claim to fame there. They make balsamic vinegar out of their grapes,
Cool.
which is fantastic. Really good
Oh, I
stuff.
bet,
So
yeah.
cool tasting room stop. A lot of different wines, a lot of hybrids there too. But I kind of enjoyed the Pinot Noir, and since that's what you guys come here to hear us talk about most of the time, I thought that makes sense to bring that one back.
Absolutely. A lot clearer in the glass than the last one.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely easier to see through.
So there's a little stinky on the nose too. Little leather, little
Is that
little
what you
bit of
call
dried
that?
fruit. Oh no. I think we're gonna take the cup. We're gonna just assume that this is a busted bottle.
I can't do it, man.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I think something's wrong with this. I enjoyed it in the tasting room, and I don't think I would have if this was the experience we were having at the time. So
Yeah.
So sorry guys. I hope to try more of your wine in the future, but today is not the day. On to the last wine, Chateau Wolff. Another great story here. This was planted in the late '90s by Harry von Wolff, great German name. Predominantly Pinot Noir and Chardonnay estate, so similar to kind of what we have in Oregon.
Yeah.
And one of those really cool stories where an older guy came over, looking on the logo, tons of German heritage,
influence,
planted the vineyard, took great care of it, but his kids didn't want to take over, so it's a tough spot, right?
It didn't?
Yeah. So it's a tough spot, and the vineyard started getting less taken care of, and a new young couple wanted to get into wine. They came out, they bought it, they took it over, and they did a lot of fixing up, remodeling, and things. But what they didn't throw away was reminders of where things started. They had pictures of the gentleman that planted the vineyard, and some little articles, kind of keeping the history alive. And I think that's really awesome because I think there's a lot of temptation to really establish your own identity and probably even scrub clear anything that came before you to maintain the brand. I was really impressed that they didn't, they held on to some of that history.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Because it's unique to have some of the vines that are a little older than the others in the region, and excited to see them still committed to working on Pinot Noir. So thanks to you, another lovely spot to visit if you get the chance. So it's really close to these folks here.
You need to get up there at some point.
Yeah,
go tour around.
Great place to tour. Yeah. If you do it right, you could probably go salmon fishing and then drink Pinot Noir back to back. It'd be a really good time.
Oh man, that'd be rad. Yeah.
A little more straightforward on the nose here, not really jumping out of the glass at you.
Really light cherry aromas, maybe like a hint of leather. A hint of
a little bit. Yeah, and darker in the glass than the previous wines.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, really lightly. Yeah, just cherries and leather and maybe even a hint of wood, but not like vanilla oak or anything. Like this is like old wood. So.
Definitely on the darker side. This is a really interesting contrast. There's definitely a little more tannic character here.
Oh, yeah.
A little more like plum fruits. Compared to Oregon, I talk about this more of like a Yamhill Carlton style wine. That's where I get flavors like this here. It's not as heavy as the wines are here, but
almost a little mineral, right? Not
a little bit of dirt laid,
like earthy, almost like clay, like muddy sort of flavor to it. Yeah, you don't get this. Well, I get this sometimes in Yamhill Carlton and sometimes in your Old Amity.
Sure.
Certain flavors like that, right? Like there's this sort of like minerality, like paired with the acidity and tannins on the finish.
Yeah, and they still keep it light on the palate. Definitely. Since the fruit is lighter all the way across, like the earthy mineral character.
11.5, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Based on the body, like I was like, look at
Yeah, the earthy mineral character really like drives into the finish, and that's what's left on the palate. Maybe a little bit of leather too, but not too much. It's mostly fruit and earth, and I think that's a pretty good thing. I think a lot of people would be really interested in trying this wine and giving it some thought, learning a little something about what's going on in this wet little island off the coast of Canada up there.
I think this is a good contrast too with the other wines, like you were saying. Like this is like ripe, and I mean not ripe, right? But it's like all fruit driven, and this has got. I mean, it's got good fruit, but it's not a lot of. There's not a lot of ripeness to it. It's almost like middle of the road, but a lot of other flavors like leather, earth, and mineral, and that's really cool to see.
A good complexity, and for an industry that's roughly half the age of what we see here in Oregon, it's kind of exciting. I think there will be some really cool things coming out of here. The bad news.
That's a cool wine.
The bad news is the rules between importing and exporting across the Canadian-American border are rotten. So the prices here in the States would be really high. I don't expect to see many of them too often. But, if you're watching this, there's a good chance you live on the West Coast. There's a good chance maybe you go up to Vancouver, BC, or over to the island every once in a while for vacation. Take some time. Go visit one of these wineries. I had a great time. I think you would too.
I can't wait to do it at some point. So.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Shout outs as always. It's going to be another cut because I'm slow.
Well, I'll just ask question of the day.
Sure, jump to that.
What's the next wine region you want to go to? It's not in the local area.
That's a good question. I haven't been to Okanagan Valley yet, again in Canada, and I'm slacking
sweet.
on that. I'd really like to check that
Sonoma
out.
Coast, I really want to go to at some point too.
It's embarrassing that we haven't done that too.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Steve Guernsey, old friend, one of the guys that got us into, actually the guy responsible for me being a wine fan from the very beginning.
Same here, actually.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He got me drunk on some Evesham Wood Pinot Noir, and that was it.
Yep, got me to go to a tasting where I discovered German Riesling. He commented on the whiskey show. He probably won't ever see this, but thanks, man. Mark Tomaso, sorry for mispronouncing your name, giving us a recommendation for a whiskey blog. Thanks. You've been watching the show for quite a while now, engaging in the likes and comments a lot. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're having a good time with the show. We like seeing you around. A few more likes, Angelique Henderson. Raju Mandar, sounds like another Indian fellow. Yeah. Tony Maas, Fu Strauss, Brian Lang, Glenn Beanstalk. Haven't seen you for a while.
Shit.
You're OG. Glenn is OG.
Yeah,
thanks for watching. Mikhail Lipinski out in New York. Megan House Brendel, somebody new to us.
No, Megan's an old school something awful person.
Oh,
wow,
no way.
She watched the show.
Way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Vincent, our friend in Newburgh. Albert. Oh.
Albert Ma.
Matt's bringing in the views. That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Trinity Ty Parker, thank you.
so much for watching.
Lots of fans watching Wine is Serious Business. We love you. You love us. See you next week.
Cheers.